How does one prepare to kill a god? We'll find out this week on The Hapless Heroes.
I took care of my crabs years ago.
Hello and welcome to the Hapless Heroes podcast. My name is Dave and I will be your host and dungeon master for this evening.
Hello, Dave.
It's so good to be back on this side of the screen. Well, we might as well start, and we're going to start the same way I start every other episode by introducing our cast, starting on my right with Francesco as the fabulous Felix Fizzlebottom.
I have a plan.
To his right, we have John as Lord Jarrell the Light.
I'm so happy to be a god.
To his right, we have Mike as Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind.
I have always been the son of a god.
And to his right, we have Nicole as Boris the Butcher.
I am so happy that I have a giant ancient crab.
And Zach was unfortunately unable to be with us this evening. He'll be rejoining us in a few weeks, but he is here in spirit and also in slightly inert character.
Yes.
And so we open our scene upon semi-familiar territory. The landscape would look somewhat familiar. The piles of bricks are new, and the burgeoning tower is also new, but you are dumped into what you eventually would reckon as the fields outside the faux chateau inside Legredex.
Oh, the faux chateau.
Well, the former faux chateau, as it has been rapidly deconstructed into piles of bricks and then reconstructed into something that resembles a tall observatory.
Interesting. And so, just to take stock, we're here with, it's Heinz, Felix, and the crew. Like, we all got spit out here. Zero did not.
Zero did not.
Interesting.
Is this Garthax's house? Is this where we started?
Formerly
Garthax's house. Both formerly his and formerly a house.
Right. Now a tower or observatory.
Yes.
Interesting. Just going to look at my friends and be like, I'm just so glad that you're okay, that all of you are okay. We were on the ropes for a little while. They were pretty worried about all of it. It's good to be back together, you know.
I'm glad to be alive too. Hans isn't far from here, is he?
Yeah, I don't know where we are, or what kind of time or what kind of situation we're walking into here. But let's say we find out what this is.
Does the house look the same?
No, he said it was.
No, the house has been entirely deconstructed into piles of materials with rather great haste. And a tower has been erected in the middle of the former grounds. It seems to be about 3 stories tall now and growing pretty rapidly, about 100 feet wide at the base and sort of round.
Do we see it currently being constructed? Like, is there something working on construction?
Yes, it is very obviously still under construction with some suspiciously rickety-looking cranes hauling large amounts of material, not manned by anyone in particular. You're not entirely sure how they're standing, but they're doing the job and with great haste.
Interesting. Is there are there any people around, like outside, before we approach the tower? Just
Well,
curious.
let's
aside from
say
us.
let's say you started about 300 feet away from the outside of the tower.
Mhm.
So, are you guys approaching any closer than that?
I would probably start. I mean, I would probably start walking up because I know that like we cleared this before. Like this is fine. We were brought here, and so this what harm could this possibly be? Like this is a safe place, right?
Yeah.
Question mark. So I'd start walking towards the
Jarrell
tower.
will pipe
Okay.
up. Is this not where Vecna may have been trying to go to begin with? This does connect all universes together, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Can I do a religion check? I know enough about Vecna to know that he's probably trying to spread his evil throughout the entire everything, right?
Before we get to that, I would like everyone to make a perception check.
Yeek.
I'm so good at these. Not good.
Oh. Okay.
All right.
I got
Yep,
8.
Felix, what do you have?
I got an 18.
All right, Jarrell,
6.
Quinn,
10.
and Boris.
Just a 23.
I was gonna say
23.
she can't go. She can't be lower than that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I rolled a 5.
Yeah, Boris, you notice there are stars overhead, but they're not moving normally as stars would. Like you can't quite see the lines, but it almost looks like it's shattered like glass into like little triangles and bits. And the stars are moving in those triangles and not in like the normal direction that they would be.
Whoa. Like in this, like so, like whoa.
Like
Sounds kind of trippy.
space appears to be shattered, but only if you look closely.
I've been in Lycradex once.
Yeah, I think
Did it
once.
look like this last time we were in Lycradex?
No.
Okay. I
No,
noticed the difference.
you were there actually, I believe, in daytime for the most part, and it looked like
Oh, then I wouldn't have.
suspiciously like the Windows XP default background.
Yeah, but I remember you mentioning that like this, it was like that, but like more muted in color.
Yeah.
Right. Like it was. Yeah. Like it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's just like these big open fields and then just
Yes.
this one structure.
Yes. And yeah, you see the stars like that, and it appears to be nighttime here, whereas it was daytime the last time you were in this place.
Interesting. Yeah, but like who knows how the hell day and night works in a place that's not, our home.
Yeah. Somewhere that might be.
Do you share the observation, Boris?
Boris is going to observe it very obviously by like she's on Hector, right? So like Hector's walking alongside you guys, and Boris kind of like flips onto her back, so she's like lying with like her hands behind her head, kind of on like the saddle part of Hector, like looking into the sky. Doesn't actually say anything, but she's very obviously like stargazing right now.
Okay. I guess, if so you're not like saying like, hey guys, like shit looks kind of fucked up there.
Does anything specifically cool happen in the sky?
Beyond that, not so far as you can tell.
Let's see. I mean, like I guess I would notice Boris looking up. I don't know if I'd recognize what I'm looking at right away, but I guess I'd ask Dr. Hines like, hey, do you know what's going on over here?
Well, I've seen construction jobs that look like this once before. Those boys. They are here, right? Do I remember them being here, or did I imagine that? Time is kind of bizarre like that.
Last I know that they were back in Talduria. We were whisked away before we could really kind of check in and see where they were at. But I mean, if their handiwork is here, that's curious. I guess let's go check it out. See no other reason to waste any more time.
It looks kind of like somebody broke the sky. Boris just points up towards like the shattery things that you mentioned now that we're already at the building.
So that doesn't seem like it's good, right? Hines?
No.
It is
seen that
potentially
before?
ominous.
Yeah, that's okay, cool. Just making sure that the vibe is that's the ominous is what we're looking at here. Okay, cool.
As you approach
Great.
As you approach the tower that's now 4 stories tall, it was only 3, only even the last time you looked. As you approach the tower, you hear from that 4th story. Oh, hey, Dr. Hines. Hey, everybody. Fletcher and I knew what we were going to do tonight. Once we saw the sky was broken, we decided to build an observatory.
Wait, how did you get here? Great to see you. So glad you guys are okay. But we'll be right there. Hold on a sec. Is there a door?
There never seems to be with these.
Oh!
That's why I'm asking.
That was an oversight. Hang on a second. And the entire bottom story of the tower starts rotating at about, maybe about 10 degrees a second, like really quick, coming around. And then all of a sudden, the door just stops there, like a garage door that rolls up, maybe about 10 feet wide by 10 feet high.
Huh.
And the door rolls up into a large cavernous room on the inside.
Cool. Yeah, we'll be right there. Okay.
Boris ignores the door and starts climbing the side of the tower with Hector.
Of course. Chink, 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 chink. Yeah, so that's new, right? Can we address the crab for a second? I'm just going to look at Jarrell and Quinn. When did that happen?
I took care of my crabs years ago.
We were looking for.
I think that's the bumper for the episode. Right
Do you
there.
ever really take care of him, though?
Only one way to find out.
Oh gosh.
We were looking for a possessed hamster, and Boris just couldn't say no to the crab.
The chainsaw. It's never gonna not crack me up. Like, it's never gonna not crack me up because it's just like you're speaking so calmly, but like, it sounds like you're like someone like is committing like a chainsaw murder in the background.
The newly ascendant Jarrell's raw power crackles into the air with a sound much akin to a chainsaw.
Yeah, so because like I feel like we should just address it for the audience because it's funny, and so like we're just because like I feel like to have to constantly retake or edit stuff out just doesn't make sense when like there's like some people are cutting up trees outside of John's house. That will be done at some point soon, but until then, enjoy the laugh with us. That there's just chainsaws while Jarrell is speaking sometimes because of the raw crackling power of his divinity.
Yeah, because it's just.
Accurate.
How it is.
Yeah, that's just that's life. Okay.
This is the sort of place that rejects Polan gods, so that someone who has attained some divinity and might not be all the way there might be in a state of some flux while here.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which
well, the rest of us are going to enter the tower with like normal people, like through the door with our normal legs, and I'm still waiting for an answer from at least Jarrell about the crab. Oh, you just gave me the answer, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm going to respond to Jarrell, and be like, okay, so you mentioned the crab, but then there was something about a hamster. I'm sorry, what?
Yes, I exorcised a hamster twice successfully and banished the demon. It was very impressive.
if he does say so
Uh-huh.
himself.
Uh-huh. Did that have like anything to do with like the foul upheaval or any of the stuff that was going on back then, or?
Jarl shrugs. I really don't know. I just knew that demon in the ley line was not a good combination, so took care of that at one point.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds like good job, Jarrell. Cool. But you ended up with the crap out of that somehow. I see. Okay. Well, I'm done asking questions. We'll take whatever tools we can get against Vecna. So, yes, the rest of us, I feel like we'll enter the tower like normal people with our legs.
Now, just out of character, for the record, Flynn, Fletcher, and Paradil had made their way somewhere at the end of.
It was ambiguous.
It was ambiguous at the end of something. So I was able to drop them into here.
Yeah. Like we
got them to the project.
We got them. Well, we got them to, like, they were in Ardwall, and 31 Squared like opened up some sort of rift where all of them were like holed up, and like Paradil, and Boris's intern and Dudu.
Right.
Was it Dwonk, Coppergrog, and Dudu were along with him. But we didn't know like where that rift opened up to. A bunch of stuff started coming out of it, but we don't know, what it led to. So, sounds like it was here.
It eventually got here, at least.
Right. Right. Like there's probably some stuff between then and here, but they made it.
Yeah.
So that's cool. All right. What do we see inside? Like, I mean, because if it's still being constructed, I can't imagine it's like furnished or anything like that.
Yeah, this is a pretty large, almost garage area with a truck, several cement mixer kind of things on the side, and some large hoppers that there might be some other kind of material in over there, and then some doors at the end, maybe 25, 30 feet in.
Interesting. Does the truck look kind of like the magical vehicles we used to see in Tarantis back in the day when Tarantis was still existing on Telduria?
Yeah. Not entirely. Like, it wasn't a specific model you would have seen there, but all the wheels are in the same place, like it's set up the same.
Right.
It's just maybe a little more rounded where the Tarantian vehicles would be more blocky and squarish.
I see. That's interesting because, like, we've only encountered like real, like actual, like vehicles, right, in very specific places in this campaign. So I was just kind of curious.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I guess we're just gonna wait for a second. Like, hopefully, maybe like people come to because we're inside, in the place where we're gathering. Boris is like on top of the tower.
Yeah, who I see on top of the tower.
All right, so we will cut up to Boris on top of the tower, where both Flynn and Fletcher are manning consoles next to each other. So these twin consoles that look a lot like, I would describe them to a listener as like an 80s video arcade console with a screen and kind of like a little thing above it with marquees that say Flynn and Fletcher above them, and some pads with a stick on one side and some buttons on the other that they are hitting the buttons
Obviously
on and
labeled
apparently
A and B.
controlling these brains that are building the tower as we speak. It's now up to level 5, by the way.
Wow.
Like a real life game of Tetris.
Yeah, it's just
Wow.
Okay, so
That's pretty intense.
almost as if with musical accompaniment.
am I on the
Except
fourth
there's many you can hear.
floor with Flynn and Fletcher, with the
You-
fifth floor having built
like-
above us now, or like are we staying on the
Yes,
top?
you are
somehow?
on a platform with them that is getting continually constructed up with the rest of the tower. It's at 5 now.
Okay,
though.
so we're always at the
and
top.
Flynn and Fletcher are up there. Yes, you are always at the top. The top is now moving up with
Cool.
you.
Can we obviously we probably hear like the sounds of it being constructed while we're inside this garage space, right?
Oh yes, it also sounds like chainsaws.
Perfect. So are there stairs? Like, there's like is there a way for us, again, those of us who can't climb, like is there a way for us to bring ourselves up to where Boris is?
So there is that door at the other end of the
Like where we entered from?
space here, yeah. And getting to that door, I'm assuming you guys are heading that way. Who's gonna open it?
I'll open it. I'll be brave.
Okay. So Felix opens the door, and you hear, kind of running from right to left in a hallway on the other side of the door, something that sounds like a frustrated Paradil, hey diddly da da da, and a yark, yark, now like zipping down the hallway.
What? Oh, they made it too? Oh, this is good news. Like, this is good news.
As a player, I'm curious
hallway-
if Dedu has his soul back yet or not. Because if not,
that's what I was insinuating with like the stuff that was pouring through the portal, or like the rift. But yes, it could be different. Like, out of character cutting here. Those were essentially like souls from a different timeline that were being brought in to help, heal the people who were otherwise soulless husks.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I would adjudicate then that Dedu and anybody else who might be here is resold if they were in need of resouling.
Resold.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Either from a salesperson or a Cooper. Not a Cooper, not farrier, unless you were have hooves. Who's a shoe person? Cobbler.
Cobbler.
That's it.
That's the one.
Yeah. Cobbler. They could resole you too.
But yes, so yeah, Dedu is resold.
Yes. He's resold in whatever way is most convenient for the story.
Correct.
Oh, they're here. The hallway continues both to the right and to the left. This is a very sterile white hallway with almost fluorescent-looking bright white light coming from up top, although it's not from anywhere specific.
Okay. All right. Which direction did we hear Paradil and Dedu running in? I want to go the opposite direction.
They were going off to the left.
Okay, let's go right.
I feel like Pregnant might go
Excellent.
to Dedu, though.
Yeah, I think that's probably where Pregnant
Yes.
would run off to by
In
now.
fact, that's exactly the sort of thing that would happen is Pregnant would make
And now Paradil has both of them.
just in raw Aquin and go zipping off down that hallway that way before you could even think to catch up with him.
Yeah.
As Felix has good sense, he proceeds to
Right,
the right
and
down the
then
hallway.
Felix would be like, okay, well, we're going the opposite direction.
We're gonna just... Yep. Not that
Yes.
I don't want to reunite with them. It's just, not right now.
Jarrell has like a little bit
Yep.
of a tear as Pregnant walks off, but he knows that he's going to reunite with his friend and he'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, you're in the same building.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So heading down this hallway, you see maybe about 60 feet at the end of it. It kind of opens up into a 20 by 30 room, and it looks like there are 2 elevators at the end of this.
Interesting.
What?
What kind of elevators? Like, are they like? Is it like one of just like typical like pulley, or are like the ones that are just like constantly cycling?
They look like steampunky pulley elevators, but one thing you notice is there's almost kind of like a strip dial thing at the top of it, and every few, probably 30 seconds to a minute. So just after you get there, you see it go from 6 to now there's 7 dots at the top there.
Like it's like reconstructing itself to show that there is now additional floors.
It just keeps sliding over and revealing one more dot for one more floor.
Wow,
If
interesting.
you were to keep standing there, it would probably show 7, 8, and so on.
I want to kind of time it so that like right as a new floor is being built is when we then hop into the elevator, so that we have a chance to catch up before the next one. You know what I mean?
The longer we wait, the further we're going to be.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Jarrell. Let's go. Come on, Quinn.
Okay. So after about another 45 seconds, you get 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll hop in. Does
All right,
Darrell
you
have
guys
to
hop
pull
in
it?
when there's 8 floors.
Yeah, is there
No,
like
once
a
you
button?
get in, the pulleys are just going like winding themselves.
Interesting.
And there's another panel in there. And every now and again, there's a square that flips around and reveals another button. But right now, it just would be 8.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
that's what you got when you got in.
right. I mean, let's just keep trying to go until we get to the top floor.
Yeah. So
It's-
you hit the button for 8. The door closes with, I presume, all of you on the inside, correct?
I would hope so.
All right. So as about you hit 6, the button for 9 reveals itself.
Well, we gotta press it.
Okay. So what happens? You stop at 8. The door opens. Closes.
push the door closed
then takes
button
Is
you
real
there
up to
quick.
elevator
9.
music? Is there elevator music?
Yes.
And does it stop every time the door opens?
Yeah, there's also a very stereotypical ding
Right.
Hmm.
as the door opens and then closes, then takes you up to 9, where there's like a temporary compartment that the floor is being built around as you are now on a platform that reveals yourselves in the cab, and then in front of you a Boris, a top crab, a Flynn, and a Fletcher furiously mashing buttons upon their arcade consoles, constructing this tower as you stand
I
upon
feel like
it.
every couple of seconds it just
Um,
says new record as they keep.
How long was I
I'm
up
just-
there with them? Alone?
Maybe
minutes.
about 3 minutes.
Okay, in that time, Boris and Hector have like observed and learned enough of what they're doing to occasionally like Hector's claw or like one of Hector's legs lifts up and like hits an extra button when he sees that like either Flynn or Fletcher is like about to miss something when they're like quickly
Having
hitting
to like
buttons.
like whatever the hell.
Yeah,
you just see the crab
Yeah,
occasionally once in a while press a button for them.
Yeah. You will notice Fletcher don't fucking miss. Flynn will occasionally, but Fletcher is like in the twilight zone on this.
Interesting. Well, I'm gonna hop out onto the floor before the next one. Like I want to get
Yeah.
on to where they're at.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did Heinz come with us too, or did he get left behind somewhere?
Dr. Hines, I'm still here. You're just pretending I'm not here like other kinds of people.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, is he still with
Wonder
us?
what are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Gerald
I
would
see
even
how it
bother
is.
to mention
As a bit player in this
stooge.
in this show, every now and again they just forget about you.
I mean, I didn't forget.
So-
I asked.
It's all part of my tragic backstory.
And he just starts yammering onto himself as you guys
Exit
Um,
the elevator. Yeah.
exit the elevator. He eventually catches up, grumpy and disheartened.
Oh.
So Flynn and Fletcher continue to build, and there's a few more floors, and eventually what happens is a spire of glass from one side kind of curves up above you in like a pyramid shape, and then starts opening up like to the sides, forming a dome around the top.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool.
The
Uh,
arcade machines disappear into the floor after that.
I just like I look at them and be like, this was holy crap. This is impressive.
Well, we presume that's what you saved us for.
Yes, that is exactly why we did that. You are exactly who we came to save.
Did you happen to notice
Well,
anything in the basement?
We meant before.
What's that?
The basement.
Yes.
We didn't build a basement for this one.
What about the structure that was here before? Was there a big mansion here?
Oh yeah, but we dug that entire thing up.
Was the door to which guy was
The
that?
other area,
Clangadin was supposed to
Well,
be the
yeah, like
basement,
this-
which means that Hans, who knows where he's at right now?
Yeah, because I remember there was like a
Oh.
door that led to like
A drain.
like that weird staircase that like kind of went in so many different directions that like we eventually ended up in like Legrid proper.
Oh, yeah, we didn't think that was important. We could probably dig it up though.
Yeah, that's very important. We need that door.
Was it-
That is a good door.
Was that here or was that because that was over?
That was here. That was here.
yeah, but Caesar Southwinds,
Sent us here.
but the drain because I'm trying to remember.
Or we
now.
ended up here because of him. Caesar, like it is strange again that once we go through these like portals to different places that we just seem to end up in this particular place first before we get to anywhere else.
Right.
Seems to just kind of be like where you get dropped off if you go anywhere in the direction of Legridex.
Yeah, the stairway was here for sure that led up to the room with all the different portals.
Somewhere here under all this dirt and debris now. Yes.
We'll get to that, but you think we can wait just a few moments to try to investigate what's going on with the sky here?
Oh, absolutely. We're just checking in on the other stuff that we saw here last time. But yes, the sky kind of looks a little broken. So let's talk about that first.
So, and Dr. Hines starts rummaging through a bag off to the side. Is anybody trying to do a more detailed check on what's going on with the skies now that we have something of an observatory here?
Yeah,
Sure,
I mean, I
I
guess
will.
because I was gonna say so Quinn's been doing sort of the sky mapping stuff, so let's get him to take a look.
Okay.
What's
So-
the check you want me to do?
Perception against the sky.
Ooh, okay.
Against
Can I ask for an investigation?
against
Sure.
the sky.
No, I'll absolutely take an
Okay,
investigation
cool.
on this.
Because
Sure.
that's a lot better.
Say, can I help?
I needed that. Are you helping with perception?
Well, either way,
Well, the help action just gives advantage. That's all it does.
I help you. Boris climbs the glass dome with Hector and like peers at the sky by actually like looking out the glass dome, sticking our hands right up against it.
I'm gonna take my investigation. I appreciate your help, but I don't think it's gonna be any
Help
better.
just put it at advantage.
Help just
I
makes the
know,
investigation
But I
go
have
an advantage.
6 extra points for investigation, and I just feel like
It'd
that's
still
gonna be a better.
it would still be that's what we're trying to say. It's like she's just helping you investigate.
Oh, I thought she said wisdom or perception.
I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It's just help. It's
Okay.
the help action.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so that's a 23.
A 23. So you do notice one thing is there are 3 larger shards of the cosmos here that stand out, that are just a little bit brighter than the others, a little closer maybe. The stars are a little bit clearer. You can see some galaxies going on, whereas the others, it's more pinpoints of light. Notably, in the middle of each of these 3 are some sort of sphere or a bubble. Looks purple
Yeah, I was
in
gonna ask
nature.
what color.
In the middle of all 3 of these, and they're sort of, you notice them floating there, but starting to kind of converge towards each other. It looks like there's still a little ways to go before they do so, though.
You said there's 3 of them.
3.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Of these like
That are
larger...
coming out of the larger shards of the sky
Yeah.
here.
Okay, I relay the information to Felix. Oh, you're the smart guy. You're the one with the plan.
I'm charismatic and I can just convince everybody that I know these things. Okay, so it's interesting. I guess I'd like to do, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like what skill it would be to maybe do, like understand what I know about, like, I guess what we're looking at, like as far as like the star map, or like, you know, like what these particular like bubbles or could be, right? Like maybe like an arcana, or would that be more history?
Let's make it an arcana check.
Okay, I like those. I can do that. Arcana checks are cool. That's respectable. That is a 19.
Okay, so you've got to lean on a little bit of past knowledge here and remembering that Legradex is outside of time and space.
Right.
So that the places you're looking at, while they may look like space, might not necessarily be space.
Okay. So I'm maybe less looking at like place and more like I'm looking at something. Like that's what I'm just trying to determine, I guess, like what exactly it is, right? It's ominous.
It is.
Do we see anything else? I mean, you know, is there any other instrumentation or something like that in here that we could look through? Like, I know that there's like this glass skybox, but is there some sort of like telescope or some sort of tool we can use to get a closer look?
Oh, did you say telescope? Yeah, well, we all one up right in a jiffy.
Oh, excellent.
More chainsawing noises. You know, some things are hammered together. There's some sawing, a cloud of dust, and then out of it, as it dissipates, appears a very large and pretty nice-looking telescope.
Quinn, you want to take a peek and see what you see, bud?
Do I get advantage with the telescope, or?
What are you looking at through the telescope?
I'm looking to see if I can get more information about the orbs that are floating around.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking at the orbs. That's what I was looking for. Okay, yes, sounds good. Let's make that another investigation.
Is that at advantage with the telescope or no?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. A 19.
A 19.
I needed that advantage.
It's a 19. It's tough to tell exactly what it is, but it appears like it's you see the reflection of a city skyline in the purple bubble.
Interesting.
In all of that, is there a purple bubble in all 3 of these shards that you had mentioned? Those like larger shards, or
yes, the larger shards each have a large purple bubble that looks like that.
Yeah.
And the first one you looked at, you saw what looked like the reflection of a city skyline in the bubble.
So almost like a purple snow globe.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Interesting.
Do the other ones look the same way, Quinn?
You'd have to turn the scope and look at them on different perception checks.
Because I mean, we're assuming, I guess, that Quinn is just like sharing this information as he's getting it.
Yeah, I'll look at the second orb.
Sure.
That is a 16.
Yeah, tough to tell. You can't really see that. It just kind of looks shiny.
And the third orb, a 15.
Yeah, the other two just kind of look shiny and purple. Only the one looks like it has a city skyline in it.
Interesting.
Yep. They're slowly and inexorably turning toward or drifting towards each other, though. And they still look like they have a little bit of time left, though.
Is it?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you first.
Well, I was gonna say, like, deduction-wise, if all 3 potentially are the same, it's 3 cities or city-like orbs kind of about to merge together.
But like these are like almost
10
like
feet.
shards of like the sky is almost like these are like shards of the sky that are like moving towards one another is essentially what you're describing this as. Like almost it's like these are all like almost like reflections on these like pieces of glass, so to speak. I'm using air quotes, right? And they're like drifting towards each other in some sort of fashion.
Right.
That's how I'm picturing it, which is like really trippy.
Yes.
But so I'm going to ask, I guess, just out loud to the room. Is it like a? Is it a bad thing that those are drifting together? Like, do we not want that to happen? And also, like, if that's the case, like, how that? I mean, I guess I don't really know what to do to prevent that from happening. But is that seems like bad, right?
I'm still not certain what exactly is going on with Vecna. What his plan could possibly be, Vecna's. It seems like it's all related. I'm glad this tower wasn't him, that's for sure. It's good to see you, boys.
Yeah, so when we were catching up, you mentioned you guys had encountered him, but he's like he went away, he like left. I mean, obviously whatever he's up to, it's not good. We know that. Like there's no doubt there. But if only we could find out what.
Can Jarrell roll a religion check to see what if we can figure out what his I don't know, it's kind of tough to figure out what his plan might be, but what this might be doing.
Okay. Go for it. Let's see. What do you know about Vecna?
Oh,
I have something.
only a 12. I don't think I know.
All right. Did you say you had something?
I think I have something. It depends. I mean, what information I'm going to get from this is questionable based on what I already know about this stuff, which is not much. I still have how many of these pieces of incense do I have? I have one left.
Nice.
And I can try to cast legend lore to try to get more information about this. So it says name or describe a person, place, or object, and the spell brings to your mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing you named. It says the lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. If the thing you named isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information. The more information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive is. And it says the information you learn is accurate, but it might be couched in like figurative language. So,
but do we have to name it?
The thing is, I'm trying to figure out what to name, but I'm going to go out on a limb here. So, okay, guys, let's think about this for a second, guys and gals. We have, we know that Vecna stole Tarantus, and we know that, that he's up to no good.
And he just killed the Primus.
He did what?
Oh yeah, did I not mention that? Before he disappeared, I'm fairly certain he killed the Primus.
Okay, that can't be good either. That's definitely not good. Okay, we got that. That's great. Fuck. But yeah, I could try to do legend lore, but yeah, I'm having some trouble figuring out, I guess, what to name. Or what, because I feel like if I go Tarantus, I don't think I'm going to get the information I want, because, the Tarantus we know is the Tarantus that existed on Telduria before it, was lifted away by a evil god. So I don't know if, it's going to help us get some more information, but it's an option. It's just that if we could try to get some more, if we could try to figure out what exactly these shards are, I could try to maybe get us some more deeper information on that, because this does seem like it could be something of a legendary importance, let's call it.
I would certainly agree. Maybe we should find its name first. I'm not certain how we can accomplish that.
Heinz, have you ever, I guess in your adventures through time, with whatever you can speak of, have you ever seen, this guy in Shards?
He's kind of lost in thought. In fact, he's drinking from a thermos that has a little bit of the soup that Pregnart had recently
Magic
made
soup.
back
Oh.
then. Yeah. He's like licking his lips and takes a sip, licks his lips, reaches into a bag at his hip and takes out a couple of little kind of like earthenware jars and flasks and starts tipping one and tries to shake it into the thermos.
Out of time. Out of time. Time. We're out of time. We're outside of time. I need to know what those shards taste like.
Excuse me?
Did I stutter?
No. It just how?
I need to know what the shards taste like. I didn't say it was going to be easy.
Okay, so
Outside of time.
But we're
Fantastic.
we're outside of time here because we're in Negerdex, right?
right. Yeah. So
So if we look outside of us, that would be time, since we're outside of it.
I don't feel
are
like
you
it
saying we're
looked that
looking
way.
at time? But
Well,
wait,
if I can taste it to verify, we might be looking at shards of time. Because, you do understand that time is kind of a little messed up right now, right?
oh, I guess I figured we have been messing with time for a while now. So yeah, I guess that would make sense.
Did this,
but
this
I thought
guy didn't look like
things
that
were.
before, though, right?
It did not.
Yeah.
We it was daytime the last time we were here. It
Yeah.
appeared to be daytime when we were here last, so we couldn't really see
Yes.
that.
We've done some things to time since the last time we were here.
Sure.
Now, when we were in that area where all those portals were to all the different planes, we were able to see like outside of that like structure that we were in, and it was just like stars and things like that. And it didn't seem fractured then, but that was a different
No,
place.
it did not.
That was a different place in Legradex. So that's
Well, there's also that, but things have happened since then.
Right.
so much has happened since then.
Yeah.
Um,
Like we did a few specific things since then.
So then
Right.
what would you call it? A time fracture?
I mean, probably.
wait, hold on a second. How many times did you guys eat the fish?
3?
I believe 3.
Uh-huh.
Oh, crap.
Well, let's go through it. So Pregnart did it right away at the
Yep.
beginning.
Uh-huh.
And we failed.
Then I did it as 0 when they were trying to disarm us.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any?
And
I
after
don't.
that, we went right into he's all
Well,
that.
it was the third
Just
attempt,
twice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
so we've
there
only
are
spotted
3
twice.
separate and distinct timelines.
Oh shit.
Mhm.
Oh shit.
It was me that ate it at the beginning, but yeah.
Oh yeah, Boris is actually the one who
Make
ate the
sure you
fish at the
take
beginning. Not
credit.
Pregnart, but yes. But
Okay,
yes.
I'm sorry. I assigned the wrong chaotic action to the
He
wrong
ate
chaotic
a lot of
character.
goldfish, but not that one.
Yes, and Pregnart very much wanted to, and Pregnart very much always wanted to eat the fish because of the Risa cup, the Risa peanut butter cup, right? But
Yeah.
that he never actually did eat the fish, to my knowledge or to my recollection. I'm pretty sure we
No.
went through 2.
We
resets.
had significantly more fish security
Mhm.
after the initial swallowing of the fish.
Right, because there were only 2 hamster systems, and the hamster system number 1 happened on the first full run through.
Yes.
Mostly full run through.
Heinz,
Yeah, it
I
was the-
imagine you never did what we just accomplished before. Or have you?
Did what?
Sent a group back in time, I guess via goldfish. I'm not.
We can't talk about that. I was specifically instructed that we can't talk about that.
Okay, well, we won't talk about it then. But did you ever do the thing we never talked about before?
No, I actually can't confirm or deny. Not even like I'm not allowed to. I physically can.
Does that include whether or not you've seen this before?
Listen, I'm trying not to dissolve here, okay? But no, this is pretty weird.
Yeah, and if he thinks it's weird,
But I still need to taste the shards. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Otherwise, I'm about 92 and a little bit certain that it's probably shards of time, and if you swallowed the fish multiple times and you've broken apart multiple timelines, plus anything else that might have happened, we might have what we're looking at up there.
so okay. Oh gosh.
So, then, with that logic, could we try to get into the one that we were successful?
Yeah, do you know which one is which?
No.
Okay, so...
Well, we were just in the one where we were successful.
Yes.
Yes, except we're not there anymore.
Right, we're not there anymore. We came here to figure out how
Yes.
to kill a god. Well,
Should we try to put them back together?
Put the shards back together?
how are you gonna get up there?
I don't know. It seems like parts of the shards are already off on their own, trying to reform themselves into something.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
But
they're
here's the
moving
thing.
together.
Hold on. Okay, if what we are really looking at here are 3 different shards of time that are essentially related to these multiple timelines that we're dealing with here, okay? And you're seeing a city skyline in at least one of those. If all of those were to merge together, you said that there was one of these particular timelines in which you were successful in defeating future Filbert, I guess, right? That's 1 of 3. So if those all combine again, there's still there's 2 where whatever the heck happened still happened. And like that wasn't good. So I don't know if we want those to merge.
It's a 1 in 3 chance that it'll be a universe where we killed Filbert. No.
We need to talk to some people who have some. We need backup. We need to open that door to the rest of the Legradex and see who's around right now.
The purple orbs continue to drift closer to one another.
See, I don't like that. Jarrell, can you wait? We're back here, right? Can you? I don't. Have you been able to talk to Valen? Is she still doing okay, or is that?
I feel like Jarl's been
Didn't
trying.
really, 'cause she
It
didn't really seem like
sound
she was doing so.
great.
She didn't seem like she was doing so great in that fight there with all the evil stuff coming this way.
I would like
We were
to
really
get-
doing our best.
back to where she was.
Right. Well, I think we were trying to stop that from just like happening by stopping Vecna. I think that way we have to do that. It's just how do we do that, and also how do we that shard's there. It's scary. I don't like that. Like it's just ominous as fuck, and like I just feel like I feel powerless because I can't just like rearrange the sky. I read a lot of books, didn't see any instruction manuals on how to put time back together.
Boys, do you have a method of launching us towards that?
Towards what?
Those.
That time shards
Yes.
in the sky.
So, like, which one? Are you gonna wait until they're all together and have me shoot you into all 3 of them?
Maybe.
Do you want one in specific? Are you even ready to be shot into them?
I'm not ready to be shot into them. I don't know what we're about to. I don't know what's there. I don't know what to expect there, and I'm certainly not ready to face off against a god right now. We need to figure out how to power up, is what I'm saying.
Wait, so you need to learn how to kill a god?
Yeah, that is number 1. Yes.
Hey, Fletcher, I know what else we're gonna do tonight. We're going to build the God-Slaying Academy.
The what now? That sounds great. Yeah, let's do that. Let's build that.
Give us a couple hours. We'll build a danger room for you.
A danger. Okay. All right. let's do that. While you do that, I'm just gonna keep looking at the sky there and just make sure that nothing blows up or that we all aren't about to just evaporate out of existence.
Lynn and Fletcher both pull handles that are next to them. Trapdoors open underneath their feet and they drop down into the structure below. The trapdoors close up above them, the handles retract into the structure, and it's just a flat floor like they weren't even there. You can hear the sounds of hammering and
Sawing.
pounding, and especially the chainsaw.
Drilling.
I mean, they said they're gonna be working for a while. I'm gonna just, I'm looking up. I'm gonna maybe either just sit next to Quinn if he's still at the telescope, or if he's not, I'm gonna look through it myself and just see how things are changing.
Okay.
At this rate, can we figure out or discern how long it would take for all of those to reach each other?
Sure. How about you make a check through the microscope or the telescope? Yeah, not a microscope. Yeah, telescope. Which are you looking at? One in specific?
I want to focus on the one that's kind of more in the center.
The one in the center. Okay, yeah. That's one that looks purple. The city skyline was the first one on the left. Mm-hmm. So you want to focus on the one on the center. All right, make me that investigation check.
I'd love your help, Quinn, if I could have that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. You said investigation, right?
I'm
Yes.
holding the telescope as you're looking through it.
That is a 24.
Now that things have moved, yes, you can clearly see a city skyline in the side of the second one as well. You can also note that all three of those spheres are drifting towards each other, sort of in a space outside of the shards themselves, and that they will probably come in contact with each other in about an hour.
Okay, so that's not enough time for this thing to be built. So it's going to happen. And I don't know what's going to happen when they do merge or touch each other or reach each other or anything like that. I guess Felix just kind of watches, with sort of, I guess, anxious anticipation. I don't really know how to affect that, right? I mean, I guess I'll peer over at the third one just to try to confirm whether or not the city exists and that city skyline does exist or whatever in that third one if
Sure.
things have moved, right? You had indicated that. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, 25.
25. Okay, not only is it a city skyline, it appears to be the same city skyline as the second one.
I mean, listen, I'm making a lot of assumptions here, but my guess would be that could potentially be Tarantus,
Or Ool.
right?
Oh.
It could also be Ool. I guess in the skyline that I'm looking at, does there happen to be a large tower that is larger than everything else?
No, but you do notice what appears to be some energy coming out of both the top and the bottom of the two spheres that you looked at as well.
It has to be Tarantus. So we have 3 floating Taranti. So wait a second. That means that...
Wait, the beam is still
Vecna-
going up and down.
In Tarantus, yes.
There was another...
Yeah.
There was other energy in Tarantus.
Yes. And if time is fractured, perhaps Tarantus from 3 different timelines are all being pulled out.
Yeah, but then what happens if they get put back together? Oh,
Well-
no.
Whose actions gave someone access to 3 different Tarantuses?
Yeah, I guess I was involved in that. Too. Then that it was part of Felix's harebrained plan. Okay. Well, we can't stop that. We're at least gonna have a danger room, so we got that going for us, right?
I hope it's indestructible.
we sit and wait for the.
Yeah. And you continue to hear the banging and clanking, and the spheres begin to conjoin as time kind of drags on. Is anybody else doing anything else in specifically, or we're just kind of waiting it out right now?
Just
Well, like,
watching, I think.
Mhm. Right.
All right.
Yeah.
One thing that the eagle-eyed might notice is that the spheres are also turning on the axis of the energy. And one of them's turning one direction, the other two are turning, one a little more than the other in another direction. All like they're trying to kind of all face inward as they merge together.
I mean, I relay anything that I'm noticing.
Mm-hmm. It's just so ominous. I don't know what to do.
And the spheres kind of begin to merge into each other.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually come to a rest, not quite perfectly aligned with each other. Almost like kind of,
Like a
I don't know what they call it, like chromatic aberration, kind of with
Like
the
3D
blue
glasses.
and red on each side. Yes.
okay.
That
Is it-
kind of like just slightly off kind of look.
Is it almost like a trinary system where like they haven't
Yeah.
fully merged? They're just kind of like moving around in a circle of like these three little
Like a Venn diagram.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
three
yeah. Okay, interesting.
Yep.
Spheres.
with
right,
a
yeah.
with a little bit of overlap right in the center of them. Yes, but spheres with a axis down the top in what would appear to be, if the city skyline is any indication, a flat plane, and that they're all aligned along that flat plane.
It's like Mecha Tarantus.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Mm.
That energy's not pointing in our direction, is it?
No, it is just out. Very prominent in the sky.
Now you said that the spheres kind of existed slightly outside of these shards, or it's like it wasn't like these like
Yeah. They were in the shards and they sort of floated out of the shards.
Oh god.
As though, like, if you looked at the flat plane of that triangle, like that was an opening to something, like an opening to a timeline or something. And those three spheres each floated out of their timelines and conjoined in this area near outside of
outside of time.
outside of Legredex,
Mm-hmm.
and possibly itself also outside of time.
But wait a second, like if we can see that, and we assume that Vecna is probably doing that since last I checked, he had Tarantus. He could probably see us, right?
Probably.
It's possible. It's possible he could see you. His options for interacting with you are limited as Legredex filters out gods. So
But he's,
Vecna might not be able to come here in his true form.
right, but I mean, I'm also assuming this is probably the closest he's ever come so far. Insofar as that, hello, we can see your fortress, my guy.
That's possible. I'm not sure how visible Legredex is from the outside. I've never looked.
I haven't either. I'm just making lots of
Yes.
assumptions.
Mhm.
Oh, that's
I wanted to make it clear that was unknowable knowledge.
okay. Well, that's ominous. I'm just gonna keep waiting for the danger room and figure out what we're gonna do to like prepare, or like just be ready for whatever that means. And Felix points, to the merged, like Tarantus cities.
Yep. And I think just with that ominous mood is where I'd like to call this episode.
Mean.
Yeah. I don't need to really cliffhanger it. I don't need to, add a jump scare in there. I think the buildup of emotion we had there suits us just fine. So, dear listeners, if you like us, we can be found on the internet. We are in such places as the Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram, at Hapless Heroes or Hapless Heroes Podcast, depending on which one you're on. All those places, though, they will take you to the crown jewel of our internet presence, our Discord server, and that's the place to meet, greet, and interact and hang out with us. It is where we are easily the most responsive, and unlike our Twitter, not quite so pervasively weird. Thanks, Zach, for that. That is very much, it's on brand for us.
So
that
great,
our Twitter
though.
would be a weird Zach thing.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Now, if you really like us, though, you leave us a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice. If your podcast service allows you to leave reviews, by all means, please do so that the sort of people who are looking for the sort of podcast that we are can help find us, and help us maybe get a little bit of reach out there. We'll get a few more listeners. It'd be fun, right? Grow things out a little bit. Speaking of helping us grow, if you really, really like us, you could donate to our Patreon, patreon.com/haplessheroes, where we have some reward tiers. I haven't really looked in on it lately. I think it's just the normal Patreon tier, right?
I mean, just like our behind the scenes audio, our bloopers and things like that. We're in the process of getting things together, right, to do that one chip challenge. Recorded like on someone's phone or somewhere, and put the video up on Patreon as well of us torturing ourselves for you. But we also have like that special channel in our Discord server. It's a bunch of stuff. I encourage you to check it out. It's just we really appreciate the support, honestly. But if you like us right now, you like us, Sally Field, and the whole deal, you're going to get a gigantic tub of margarita mix, and you're going to find the nearest above ground pool in your area. You're going to dump all that into the pool. Make just a gigantic, pool margarita. Obviously you maybe clear out the chemical water in there first, or don't. You do you. But then, obviously when someone will inevitably ask you, what are you doing to my pool? You'll be like, I'm making a giant margarita to celebrate my favorite podcast, The Hapless Heroes.
Sounds really
delightful.
It does.
Yeah.
I have nothing for that, save for outroing our cast. We're going to go back from the left with Boris the Butcher, played by Nicole.
See you next time.
To her left, we have Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind, played by Mike.
Always at my service.
To his left, we have Lord Jarrell the Light, played by John.
Until next time.
To his left, we have the fabulous Felix Fizzlebottom, played by Francesco.
We'll always have a plan.
And my name is Dave. I've been your host and Dungeon Master. It's been so good to be back behind this side of the screen, kind of building us into getting us towards the end. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.